Final spring game, you got the light at the end of the tunnel. You got the real games coming up to get you fired up about. Everybody excited to see Bobby Miller take the mound at Dodger Stadium tonight on his 23rd birthday as the Dodgers and Angels play the final game of the Freeway Series. The Angels taking the first two games. Dodgers trying to salvage one here to finish off the spring schedule. Off day tomorrow, travel on Thursday, and open up the season Friday at Coors Field. Hope you're having a great week. Welcome inside. Joe Davis and Eric Karros. Kirsten Watson joins us in a moment. So we mentioned Bobby Miller. The guys talked plenty about him during the pregame show. This is going to be awesome to watch. He's apparently been sitting at 100 so far this spring.
You know, the spring training, it's the last day of spring. You're ready for the season to start. But I'm not. I want to see this tonight. 100-mile-an-hour arm on the mound tonight. And for him, it's going to be something where this isn't a spring game. This is all about the 7th game of the World Series. He's going to go out and compete.
What a great opportunity for him to do it, like Dave Roberts said just a minute ago, in front of the Dodger Stadium decks, and just be able to take all this in one time before it actually happens for real. For more on Miller, here's Kirsten.
Thanks, Joe. Well, I mean, look, with Bobby Miller, hopefully this will be a 23rd birthday that he will never forget. The plan for him today is that he'll likely go 3 innings, potentially will touch the 4th, just depending on what the pitch count looks like. But when I spoke to Bobby recently, he told me that what we can expect from him on the mound is his competitiveness. He is going to bring it to everyone. It doesn't matter who he's facing. He will do it with the utmost respect, though, guys.
Can't wait to watch him with his parents here to take it all in as well, making the trip from the Chicago area and Illinois to the Freeway Series in Southern California. It's the Dodgers and the Angels one more time to get things going for the regular season. We've got first pitch coming up. First pitch, final game of the Freeway Series in a rite of spring. Dino Ebel being mic'd up for the final game of the Freeway Series. Not just mic'd up, it'll have the earpiece in, so we'll get to chat with Dino as this game rolls on. Story for the moment, though, is Bobby Miller taking the mound for his Dodger Stadium debut, ready to face off with the Angels on his 23rd birthday, as if it wasn't a special enough day to begin with. Miller celebrating his birthday by pitching here. First-round pick in 2020. Of course, that was the season without a true minor league season, so he went straight to the alternate site that year, worked on a bunch of things, and went from being a first-round pick to one of the top pitching prospects in baseball with what he worked on in 2020 at the alternate site and what he showed in 2021, his first pro season.
And the Dodger organization is very excited about this young man, and it's just, you know, the arm strength. This guy's coming at you about 100 miles an hour, and I think more than anything, it's the competitiveness, too. Works as hard as anybody, and when you get that combination of talent and work ethic, the sky's the limit for this young man.
Let's take a look at the Angels lineup that he'll face. How about a nice soft open? How about Shohei Ohtani to lead things off against him? There is no Mike Trout again tonight. He's still under the weather, so Taylor Ward bats second, starts at right. And left field is Jose Rojas. Rendon, Walsh, and Adele through the heart of the lineup with Stassi catching. Tyler Wade at second, and we get to see David Fletcher for the first time in this series. He's been dealing with a minor injury over the first couple games. So there are the numbers, which are split between High A and Double A last year. He missed the first part of the season, or part of the first half of the season, with an injury. That's why the innings total's not quite as high. 70 strikeouts to just 13 walks. That is a way better walk rate than he had at any point during his time at Louisville, when he went from being good to great and a first rounder. But it's going to be exciting to see how he builds on that foundation there.
Well, and you also look at those 56 innings, only 2 home runs allowed. As he goes up the ladder, and he'll be at Tulsa this year, it'll be interesting if he is able to keep that walk to strikeout ratio, because guys become a little more disciplined. They're not up there just swinging. And right now, or at least early on, the velocity, that plays early on in the lower levels.
Will Rhymes, the minor league director for the Dodgers, said it seems like he's PRing in velocity every time he takes the mound at this point. There's an outing where he was borderline sitting, 101.
Right, yeah, man.
And he's got his parents, Tracy and Bob, here to watch in town from Elk Grove, Illinois. So here we go. Bobby Miller on the mound at Dodger Stadium for the first time. Off we go with 100. And ball one on Ohtani.
You know, I keep joking about how he's going to be on the mound. As far as the nerves, I guarantee his parents are 100 times worse.
There's a strike, splitting the plate. Took a little off. So first round pick out of Louisville. Didn't have any crossover there with Will Smith. Right after Smith was drafted, that's when Miller got there. Out of Elk Grove, Illinois, just outside of Chicago. Nothing but heaters so far, and he's ahead 1-2.
You know, we talk about the last few nights, the way the ball sounds off of Ohtani's bat. How about the ball when it hits the catcher's glove right now? You see, there's no stress right there, huh?
Tried to put him away with 88-mile-per-hour changeup. And, yeah, that's still 12 miles per hour of separation from the fastball.
Right.
That has been his best secondary pitch for a long time. Home of the 2-2, and it goes full.
I mean, when you're out on the mound in this situation, or you're up at the plate, it's your first at bat, you're trying to breathe as slow as possible. Just calm down. Look at that. That's who needs to calm down.
Got him looking with a fastball at 100. Bobby Miller strikes out Shohei Ohtani for his opening act at Dodger Stadium.
Right fielder number 3, Taylor Ward.
I tell you, I mean, obviously we're going to be watching what he does on the mound, but this is going to be the story tonight. This is going to be the pure entertainment right here. Mom and Dad, I mean, that's something that they will never forget. Never.
One away, Taylor Ward. Fastball for a strike. Ward has a home run in this Freeway Series. That was on Sunday night in Anaheim. He picked up 2 more hits yesterday. Part of a very good Angels offense. Slider, 0-2. You got the fastball, you've got a sinker, slider, changeup, curve is come and gone. He's toying around with a cutter. Somewhat Walker Buehler-like in that he's always tinkering and trying to find something new. Good take that time, ball 1.
A little different too, though, in that you've got the size. You know, Walker is not that imposing right-hander, as you mentioned. The stuff, yes, but you know, this guy's 6'5",
235,
right?
Yeah. Fastball comes bearing in on him. He was about 220 when they drafted him, and that was part of what he did this offseason, was worked on adding weight. Ate a lot, focused on his lower body and his weight training, and the velocity ticked up even a little bit more. Miller to Ward, 1-2. You know, for Will Smith, who's doing the catching for him today, he caught him once in spring training last year, but that's the first time. She said, yeah, I know he's got fastball, slider, changeup. I'm going to talk to him, see what else he's got right now, and let's go. We'll see. Not quite the depth of pregame meetings in the Freeway Series that you'll have in the real thing. Sound like a wet newspaper. Swatting that thing over there to short. Trey Turner throws him out. 2 up and 2 down for the Miller family.
Left fielder number 18, Jose Rojas.
Somebody's really getting on home plate umpire. Malachi Moore already. Jose Rojas takes a ball with a back foot curve. Boy, he destroys his bat.
Yeah, that thing just sawed in half. I think he hit it off the end of the bat. You see Will Smith trying to duck out of the way there.
Two and 0.
You're right, though, when you talk about sitting at 100. I mean, that's what he. 99, 100, 100, 100.
.100 again. Weak pop flies, shallow left field. Max Muncy's playing third base tonight. He's caught off by Chris Taylor. A 1-2-3 first inning for Bobby Miller. Welcome to Dodger Stadium to the whole Miller clan. the spring. Dodgers trying to get a win to finish things off with this lineup. Mookie Betts heads up there to lead it off. Then Freddie Freeman, who doesn't just bat tonight, he'll play first base as well. Trey Turner's at short. Muncy's at third hitting cleanup. Turner does the DHing. Smith catches for Miller. Then Bellinger and Taylor and Gavin Lux. First-year Angel Michael Lorenzen, first-year starter really. He's a career reliever over in Cincinnati, but he comes over here on a one-year contract. And part of the reason why he chose the Angels was that they're going to give him a chance as part of this six-man rotation to start. His first pitch of the night is a strike to Mookie Betts. We get all those details out of the way so we can get to the headline of this thing, and that is Dino Ebel, the Dodger third base coach, is mic'd up with earpiece in. Dino, it's great to have you. This is a rite of spring here, having you on with us.
Oh, thank you. This is the end of our spring training and our last game, and that last half inning there was pretty exciting to watch.
Yeah, what's it look like from down there?
Ooh, it's real. It's some gas.
First time you've seen him?
Yes, live.
Yeah.
Heard a lot of great stuff about him, and that's pretty good stuff there in the first. And, you know, like you guys said, facing Ohtani, the first hitter, that's something he's never going to forget. Something I'll never forget.
Right. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Mookie Betts. Lorenzen comes back home. Betts with a bullet into left center field.
Come on, Mook.
Leadoff base hit for Mookie Betts. Barreled the ball up last night, and he said jokingly today, hey, I finally, first time all spring, found the barrel, and found it again there to start things well. Up comes Freddie Freeman, and Dino, how cool has it been having, as we see Mookie Betts with the base hit again, how cool has it been having Freddie Freeman in Dodger camp?
Oh, wow, this is one of the good guys in the game, and all the great stuff we've heard about him, it's all true, and I'm glad he's on our side now.
Dino, what's been the most exciting thing about spring training as far as, wow, I didn't realize we were going to be able to do this? Or
I just think coming together as a group, like always, you get some new faces in, you lose some guys, and when you get the guys together in that clubhouse the first day, when you got the whole team there, that's the exciting part for me. And then me as a third base coach and all the staff giving signs right here to Mookie. He's looking at me, Clayton in his ear. I just think it's you know, getting everybody together. Tonight's the last night. We're going to get 2 days off. We got to work out on Thursday before we head to Colorado. But it's been good so far. Last night was, you know, the score wasn't in our favor, but we saw some good things. So again, short spring training. The bats are starting to come alive. The way they're taking pitches, it's good to see.
is there anything in this shortened spring training that you need to do that you weren't able to address?
Well, we got pretty much everything that we wanted to. A lot of backfield stuff. 3-0 count here. Freddie's going to get a green light here.
What's your sign for the green light?
That's something that you guys got to figure that one out. Oh.
3-0 green light.
Get foul. That a baby.
We probably could help you out on that one. You know, we got a better angle on that.
I just watched the hitter, so when he didn't come out of the box, I knew it was foul.
Hey, so take us through what you're doing right here. What are you looking for, and what are you going through?
Well, Mookie, you know, 3-1. Pretty much Mookie's got the green light here in spring training. You know, Freddie's going to see a pitch that he can drive, and I'm looking out in the outfield. They're pretty much straight up. You know, Freddie does drive the ball the other way pretty well. Left fielder Rojas is pretty average pick there. They might think he's going to be running. They just want to throw over there and see if they see Mookie leaning or anything. But I want to see Freddie get a heater right here and drive it in the gap.
On 3-1, he takes high. First and second. Do you know some traffic for us?
Yeah, this is good. Now, third base coaching now. I look at the outfield. They're going more oppo. Center fielder Odell's going to the right, to his left. Left fielder now, he went over to his oppo side. Ward's got a plus arm in right field. He's pretty much average in depth-wise. No outs here. The ball's hit hard to an outfielder. 1 hopper, 2 hopper. No outs. I don't want to get anybody thrown out.
What about where you position yourself?
Yeah, I'm always at the end here because when Mookie, if this ball's hit, then I'm going to go down the line, give myself a lot of time to make a decision. So Mookie's looking in.
At what point do you release Mookie and then become the coach for Freddie?
Well, when I know Mookie's by me, then my eyes go on Freddie. Yep. And then Freddie, you know, his eyes are on Mookie. If he thinks he can get first to third where the ball's hit, he'll do it. Especially if the ball's in front of him. If it's down in that right field corner, Mookie scores easy, and then here comes Freddie, then he's on me. So that's when I get down the line, let the play develop, and see where the ball's positioned, where the cutoff guys go. That's where my eyes go when the ball's hit.
So give me the scenario where you have to make your way down near home plate and then you're sprinting up the line towards third.
Once Mookie, like if the ball's to the left and right of any of the outfielders and I know I got Mookie scoring, then I'm coming up the line. The ball's in front of Freddie. If it's hit to center or right center over the left field line, and then I'm his guy to third to tell him to get down, stand up, pick up the ball. So it's just the feel of the game, the instincts, where I know the runners are at. 3-2 count here, no outs.
I'm going to ask a kind of dumb question, but I'm asking it. Have you ever like blown out a hammy or twisted an ankle sprinting from home up to third? Seriously,
like no, that's not a dumb question. I know I've seen some third base coaches do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't get too far down when I know there's back runners. If I know there's only a one runner and we don't worry about the batter runner because he's going to go to second on a throw, then I get deeper down to the plate. There's some times where I tell our guys they got to get down. That's how close I am to home plate. So it just matters if there's trail runners, then I come up that line.
I'll tell you what, you're prepared to do it because those shoes you're sporting are sweet.
Here we go.
That's a gap right center field. That'll split him.
Come on, Freddie. Come on, Freddie. You got to score. There it is. I like it.
You got to put on a clinic, a third base coaching clinic right there for us, Dino.
Well, I tell you what, that's some good instincts right there on Freddie's part. He read that really well. Mookie went back, making sure the line drive is down, but if you see it on replay, Freddie right off the bat, he's coming. So that's all for Freddie. That's his job right there. He did a great job reading that. Made it easier for me.
Man, I'm telling you, this is a marketing video right now. You got to get this thing. This is some extra cash on the side, Dino.
No, that's okay, EK. You know me. I love talking ball, and this is fun to do.
Muncy's the hitter now.
Yeah, he should pull the ball on the ground, get him over, or drive it out of the park, or hit another gapper. Here we go. That's a gapper. Come on, Freddie. Come on, Freddie. Come on, Freddie. You got to score. There it is. I like it.
We just showed a replay of it, Dino. Yeah. We need to get you a monitor down there next year so you can see everything we're seeing.
No, that's okay. Well, Max.
0-2. How about Freddie last night, Dino? A ball kicks by Joe Adell, and he winds up in front of you at third.
Yeah, that's something. See, we were talking earlier about the balls in front. He doesn't need help, but as me as a third base coach, Joe Malfitano used to teach us back in Vero Beach in the backfields in spring training. Keep your eyes on the runner. If he needs help, help him. So Freddie never looked at me, and he was coming into third. There's a lot of times I hear different coaches or third base coaches say, well, it's on the runner, and if the ball's in front of him, he shouldn't get any help. Well, that's something I never, took to heart on. I feel if a guy needs help, I'm going to help him.
Who is a third base coach that you learn the most from, or that you try to emulate, or?
It's Joe Malfitano.
Yeah,
100%. And then, with Ron Renicky, the staff we had, all the Dodgers that came up, we went over the Angels, and I got to watch Ron. And throughout the league, Tim Flannery, Wotus from the Giants, those guys, they were all with Joe when Joe left the Dodgers and went to the Giants. And you could just see where they learned their stuff, too, from Joe. So Joe was the best, and I still believe he is the best. Really good. You had American.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was fortunate enough to play for him. He was our third base coach for many years. Did so many things.
Muncy down swinging.
I mean, not only was he doing things to help the base runners, but when you were up at the plate, I mean, sometimes he'd be letting you know where the catcher was setting up, and you're knowing pitches.
Absolutely.
I'm going to ask you that. You don't do that, though, Dino, do you?
I don't.
You
I
never.
never do
No. That's it.
But you know, with all the video cameras and all that stuff now, I mean, back in our day, if you know, I still believe if you can get it live in a game as a coach, or the players can get it live in the game, that's all fair game.
Right.
That's their fault if they can't change signs or they're giving them away. All the video stuff, yeah, I don't believe in that, but.
Justin Turner goes after the first pitch. Fly ball to right field for Taylor Ward. What's your take on the pitch com thing that some teams are going to use?
What's that? Is that
to you, do you know any opinion on the pitch com that catchers are going to use to relay the signs to pitchers if teams want to?
Oh yeah, our guys been using
like it.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't heard any negative stuff on it yet, so it's all good.
It looks like the Angels are using the technology tonight. So this right here, he can send a signal with a push of a button, and it relays an audio signal into a speaker that is in the pitcher's hat. That's high on Will Smith, ball one. And basically, it's a technology where you'll hear it inside your head. So what is that, like conduction? So you don't hear it if you're a base runner, if you're a hitter, and it doesn't leak through to the other guys.
Here we go.
Sharply hit, but played by Fletcher.
That boy, Trey.
That's the inning.
I got you.
Dino, we'll talk plenty as the night goes on. Struck out Shohei Ohtani, promptly got Ward and Rojas as well, and another nice test coming for him here with a couple all-star players, Anthony Rendon and Jared Walsh due up.
Yeah, you couple that too with that was a relatively long inning for him to sit down, you know, and it'll be interesting, you know, how is he feeling right now? Do you get the adrenaline going again? Is he cooled off? You know, all the sorts of things that you learn about in a spring training game. I can tell you those two didn't calm down at all, right?
His mom Tracy and his dad Bob ready to watch the second inning. It was Ohtani that started the first. It's Rendon, 10-year veteran, starting the second, taking a strike. Third of a 7-year, $245 million deal for Anthony Rendon. Behind 0-2. You know, when you think of a guy that throws 100, especially a young guy, you kind of assume that he's going to be all over the place, right? That's just, they usually go hand in hand. But seeing that the strikeout to walk ratio is 70-13 last year, hearing that he's honed it in even more, that's when you're looking at scary. When it's not just power and it's not just command, it's both. Left over the plate here, sending the air to center. Bellinger to the track with room.
Well, that's why just watching tonight, because as you mentioned, that strikeout to walk ratio is great, but that's also at a lower level. And sometimes, you know, the lower level, you know, a guy's throwing 100, the hitters are, you know, a bit more anxious. They'll chase, they're making decisions early. But as we've seen tonight, I mean, you're right. He's right around the plate, harnessing the adrenaline. Look at that. He's like, oh, dude, you just got at Anthony Rendon. Come on.
Yeah, a year or two from now, you can say, "Man, I got away with that one." But no, you can own it. You didn't like getting squeezed on that one by Malachi Moore. Ball one on Jared Walsh. The raw talent, the giddy up, it's all there. But then one thing you mentioned too that has gone into his improvement is that he's obsessed with that. He's obsessed with finding whatever little tweak he can make, whatever area he can improve to make himself a better pitcher.
I think in all arenas of life, the one commonality that all successful people have, they don't get complacent, no matter what kind of success. And again, you know, you can cart around that arm at 100 miles an hour, but there's going to be still things to work on.
Home with a 2-2. Walsh takes it in the dirt. Count goes full. He is admittedly very hard on himself. I think a lot of the great ones are, which he hopes to be one day. They're living a dream here. Firing a 3-2. Walsh shoots it foul. Another payoff. He walked him. First base runner for the Angels, Jared Walsh, with a one-out walk.
Center fielder number 7, Jo Adell.
Well, now we get to see him out of the stretch. It'll be something new, and Walsh isn't a runner at first, so you don't have to worry about being quick to home, but still something different.
Couple guys with Louisville ties here. I mentioned that Bobby went to Louisville. Jo Adell is a Louisville native. Ballard High School. Takes ball one and a slider. Back in there, 1-1. So you got the great fastball, you've got the good slider, great changeup, other pitches that he's trying to add. But if you ask Bobby, what's the best thing you got? He doesn't name one of those pitches. He says it's my confidence, it's my belief in myself that when I take the mound, I'm the best guy out there. I would think that probably takes some tricking yourself on a night like this when you face a guy like Ohtani to begin things.
Well, you're always going to have to play little mind games with yourself. But remember, he's walking out there with 100 miles an hour strapped on that right arm. So
that's right.
That's instant confidence right there. I don't care who you're facing.
It's like riding a jetpack.
Like, why would this guy be confident? He only throws 100. I mean,
yeah, but he doesn't have any breaking pitches. No, he has 4. So. Here's his 1-2. Off the barrel and foul.
I will say this, just watching him and the way he's, handling himself, moving around, very deliberate, appears very composed on the outside, non-emotional, almost stoic.
Walsh at first, one gone. Tries another 1-2 to Jo Adell, and right on the knuckles.
Trying to go up and in. I mean, that's a really great location. I'd be interested to, he hasn't 100 miles an hour. You come up and in, or you dust a guy off the plate. That changes the whole feeling when you're in that box. Nice pitch after just going up and in and not missing by much.
Now a 2-2 is in there. Strike 3. 99 tailing. That like perhaps his two-seam. He throws both. He was mostly two-seam in college. He's been mostly four-seam as a pro.
And you just, you watch that movement coming back out over the plate.
Some of those mechanical adjustments, EK, that we talked about him making at the alternate site, which, by the way, he says was probably a silver lining for him, the fact that he went straight to the alternate site and could work on all these things instead of going into a minor league season. It's ball one on Max Stassi. the mechanical adjustments they made, a little bit of arm slot difference, a little bit higher than he was, some changes, just minor grip tweaks. The four seam took off. Crazy spin rate data. It gives it that rising appeal, that rising action or appearance. And he still has that two seam that he can sprinkle in like he did there. Jeez. He said as he's made these adjustments, two things are happening that shows him that it's working. He's getting a lot more takes at the bottom of the zone, so guys give up on it thinking it's low, and he's getting a lot more swings and misses at the top of the zone.
Yeah, and that's the thing you just brought up. A lot of people think that, oh, you know, you've got that rise or that, or it doesn't drop as much. That just means you got to live up high on the zone, and really you don't. I mean, you live, you know, at the knees because, as you mentioned, guys will give up on that pitch, and it doesn't sink out of the zone. He was, when you're talking about the alternate site.
Yep.
SC, right?
USC.
Yeah, so he, you know, he's been here in LA, acclimated, knows his way around.
And that was with a bunch of good hitters.
Yeah.
I mean, that camp was loaded up, and he got to face those guys daily games. There goes Jared Walsh. Lost track of him. Popped back and out of play. It's funny, right? You can probably think back to your playing careers, guys that had fastballs that you would give up on, and you're like, what in the world? Now we know what was happening to the ball.
Well, and that's the thing. It's, you'd always go back to, I mean, there was a guy, Russ Springer, and he used to throw high in the zone, and I always just miss him. And, you know, he wasn't overpowering, but again, now I understand why.
Another 1-2.
You know, that's why I think the analytics and those types of numbers are so important now, is because it helps explain things. And that's all it is. You know, their measurements. It explains why things are happening. I can tell you, Freddie probably over at first base probably let him know, he's like, look, I don't need to see any 100-mile-an-hour pickoffs. Haven't been over here with you, so.
15 pitch first, 23rd pitch of the second. Stassi turns it around on a line to center. Bellinger's there, and that's the inning. A couple scoreless innings for Bobby Miller, and a 2-0 Dodger lead. Right center
Come on,
field,
Freddie.
that'll split him.
Come on, Freddie. Come on, Freddie, you got to score. There it is. I like it.
Hey, pretty cool, Dino, that, I mean, rewind it like 3 years. If somebody had said, you're going to be coaching third for the Dodgers and Trey Turner's going to hit a ball in the gap that's going to score Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman. Huh?
I know it. It's nice to have.
And then you got hit in the 7th spot. Former MVP and Cody Bellinger headed up there to lead off this inning. You think Cody's close? I know everybody's hoping that he's close to getting things going with the real games coming.
Yeah, he's been working hard, extremely hard with our hitting coaches, and he's focused. And last few at bats last night, good game for him. So he's going to get there. We believe in him, 100%.
Taylor and Lux to follow in the second inning against Michael Lorenzen, who's 0-1 pitch. He's on the inside corner, strike 2.
Hey, Dino, of all the guys that you've waved around third, who's the most exciting runner that you've had the honor of sending home?
There's a knock. Oh, Fletcher.
Oh, ban the shift now.
I would say Mike Trout now with Trey Turner here. You know, a sleeper for me was when he first came up was Peter Borges.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You know, this guy can run and very quick, like Trey Turner type speed. But Michael was just 240 pounds and, you know, runs a 3.9 down the line on a ground ball in the infield. And when the ball's hitting the gap, to see him come around, I could hear him. I mean, that's how the power, like some guys would say Bo Jackson was like that. Never got to see Bo in life, but hey, woohoo!
How do you know?
I thought about picking it, but that has some spin rate on it.
Dino, there was a time, I remember back in the day, you were picking that.
I know it.
Back in our minor league days.
I need a glove on that one. But yeah, Mike Trout with the power, the speed, and him coming from first to score, that was pretty exciting to watch.
It's an 0-1 to Chris Taylor, and look out again.
Yeah. He was just smiling at me. Now I'm going to smile back at him. There you go. Yeah, that's right.
Now then, in 2 on Taylor. Takes in the dirt. Ball 1. So you guys were teammates in the minors, you and EK, huh, Dino?
Yes. And I came up to Albuquerque in '91, and they just needed a backup type player there, and Dave Hansen was there. And I think the shortstop back then, EK, was a kid named Martinez out of Puerto
Luis
Rico.
Martinez.
Yeah. So they needed a backup. I went up there for about a month and then went back down to AA. But Kevin Kennedy was a manager. It was, great experience for myself sitting there and seeing all these guys that we came up together and got a chance to be with them on the bench was great for me.
Yeah, and I remember, it's like the next year, it's, Dino could still play, right? They're going to make him a player coach. And
right.
I'm going, wait. So that's when I started. I started calling, when we were still together, it's like, that's Coach Ebel.
That's right.
Well, little did I know that
that's okay.
30 years later, no, you were good. I mean.
Yep. There was another guy that you remember, Rafael
Bornegal. Yep.
In both of, myself and him and Rafi went into Charlie Blaney's office in spring training, and he made us both player coaches, and Rafi got hot and was in the big leagues for 4 years.
That's right.
Good for him.
2 gone. Gavin Lux comes up. Dino, when did you know that coaching was going to be the future?
I think my 6th year in the minor leagues, I was helping a lot of the youngsters, and Chico Fernandez, as you know, was our infield guy, and I spent a lot of time with him. And a lot of coaches kept telling me, when your career's over, you should think about coaching. And when they came to me after spring training in '91, they said, hey, we can make you a player coach. If we need you at the higher levels, we'll send you up. But if not, we think you can be a coach down the road, a manager. And so I took it, and I said, you know what? I realized then that I think I always told myself I'd never take the uniform off until they take it from me, and 35 years later, here I am.
I mean, when you think of it, it really is kind of crazy that they were able to recognize that, and then here you are, one of the best coaches in Major League Baseball. Like,
well, thank you.
Seriously, I mean, that when you look back at that, you go, how did they know? But that just spoke, of the system that we had back then.
That's right.
And the quality of coaches, and it really was something.
Yeah, I went around just talking baseball and talking, and all the guys that come into spring training and sitting on the table with Koufax and Drysdale and Johnny Roseboro, and even the minor league managers of Tom Byers and Goose Gregson, a pitching coach, spent a lot of time with him, and then Rick Dempsey, John Shelby, just picked their brain. And someday I said, if I ever get a chance to manage, what I like, I'll use, and what I don't like, I won't use it. So just always learning baseball, talking baseball. And that's what I do today, and try to pass it on.
Would you like to manage again, Dino?
Yeah, that's something I've always wanted to do. I mean, I love what I do out here. I bench coached for 4 years, but this is where the action is, and I really enjoy it. Can make a difference in a game, sending a guy or holding a guy up. It's like the next best thing, like as a player. Your heart's pumping, it's 9th inning, you got guys on, and when the ball's hit, you got to make a decision.
Lux goes down swinging. That's a 1-2-3 second. 2-0 game as we go to the 3rd. Third inning coming for Bobby Miller. Struck out Shohei Ohtani to begin the day. Went 1-2-3 in the first inning. Pitched around a walk in the second. And here we go with the 3rd. Tyler Wade leads it off and fouls off 99. And he has been hammering the zone with that fastball. He's 18 out of 22 strikes throwing his fastball.
Now, you're right. I mean, just for a young guy, first appearance in Dodger Stadium, I mean, he's really showed great composure.
Deals the 1-1. Wade watches ball 2. Three and 1. Off the hands behind third. Muncy back. It's going to fall in. Wade holds on with a long single to lead off the inning.
Certainly wasn't pretty. Again, it's an excellent pitch. Muncy does a nice job, though, getting this thing. And
it's close.
A good throw. AC. Yeah, he didn't like that. This is going to be an interesting matchup because Fletcher up at the plate puts the bat on the ball very well. You know, not a lot of swings and misses. 100 miles an hour on the mound. Got to watch out. This could also be a hit and run.
Something Joe Maddon likes to do more than others. Runner takes off. Smith's throw. They got him. Good catch and tag by Gavin Lux as well.
You mentioned it, really a nice job by Lux. You see him get him on the back side right there on that left foot.
Yeah. Shake that dirt out of there. Well done by Will Smith, getting Tyler Wade clearing the bases. One gone, 1-0 count. Miller to one of the contact kings. Weak though, over to first and Freeman. 2 out. And another duel with Ohtani. Struck him out looking, and a full count fastball his first time up there.
17, Shohei Ohtani.
We got a lot riding on this hitter right now. His second time up, so he's seen Miller, and then also Dodger pitchers the last 2 nights have not been able to get past the 3rd inning without, you know, last night was I think 5 runs. First night Walker gave up 3 runs.
Yeah, it's not been great.
No.
15 runs for the Angels on 21 hits over the first 2 games. Miller, the silencer, through 2 2/3.
Well, I think too the difference is just like I said, he's pitching like this is the 7th game of the World Series. Those guys last couple nights, they're just getting ready.
2-0. You know what I love so far? The stuff, obviously. I just love the look. I love the presence. Love the eyes. 2-0.
So what do you think here? You throw 100, it's 3-0. Are you going to throw that fastball right there? Because you know Ohtani, like he's got to be just lift and separate right now.
You think he's coming out of his shoes?
I mean, I would. I mean,
it is a 4-pitch walk. Ohtani's on.
Number 3, Taylor Ward.
Second walk issued by Miller. Getting kept alive for Taylor Ward. '50th pitch for Bobby Miller. Fastball to the corner and fouled off. For Bobby Miller, it is very clear these couple innings why the organization feels about him the way that they do, why prospect evaluators across baseball feel the way that they do. Simply a matter of logging some innings at this point, logging some pro experience. Just 56 innings in one pro year. But it would not be a shock to see him at some point in 2022. Actually, probably be a bigger surprise to not see
him, right? Yeah, what the Dodgers start with in their starting rotation, you know, I would bet is not what they end with.
We've talked about Dustin May coming back midseason. We've got guys like Bobby Miller, Ryan Pepio, Landon Knack that are highly regarded minor leaguers that are all going to be in AAA at either now or quickly. Right on the doorstep of helping out.
I can't imagine Ohtani would be running in a spring game. Yeah. I mean, in real life, yes. Real life doesn't start till Thursday.
That's
though.
right. Something we can all do whatever we want. Popped out of his hand a little bit. 2-2. We've also learned he's not afraid to let his emotions show. Good lead for Ohtani. Miller deals 2-2. Fastball rides inside, runs the count full, and Ohtani will get a head start. There he goes. Here it comes. Hit on the ground. Trey Turner throws him out. Ends the inning. 3 scoreless for Bobby Miller. 2-0. Dodgers in front. FaceTime too. You've been stealing all the camera time, so we got EK and I on TV right now too. All 3 of us. Love. What are you most looking forward to of the season, as EK put it last inning, real life getting started on Friday?
Yeah, just getting off to a good start and, you know, pitching coming through and getting some key hits. And you always want to get off to a good start. We're in Colorado for 3, which, you know, it's never easy there. Ball travels big park. The ball gets out of there really easy.
More square footage of outfield grass than any other ballpark in baseball. I imagine that presents some wrinkles for you.
Yes, it does. There's a lot of ground to cover, so I'm always the guys are in the outfield, seeing how they're positioning our players, and they're at the hit.
Top of the order here, Mookie Betts leading it off, then Freeman, then Turner.
Dino, if you've got a young base runner and you're teaching them the nuances, what do you feel is the most important thing?
I think just running through bases. You know, I think a lot of guys just try to get to the base, where if you run through it and make, especially on first, if the ball's hit to the left fielder, even though you know it's hit to the left fielder, center fielder, the ball's in front of you, run through the bag, because if he bobbles it, you know, in the big league parks, there's some parks, the grass snakes. It's really cut different. You know, it looks good on TV, but it snakes, and a guy might take his eyes off it, and you stop at second. It's hard to get it back. So what we try to do is just try to get him off and get him a good primary, good secondary lead, and then when the ball's hit, run through the base when you know it's a base hit. Let us as base coaches, you know, if I send a guy home, I never blame the player. It's always on me. So run through third, trying to score, and that's the biggest thing for me. And then, you know, all the base hit out of the box, you think too, the old Pete Rose style. You know you got a single, so you try to get to second. But the biggest thing I try to, you know, tell our base runners is make the outfielder stop. Once they do that, then you could always pull up and get back to the bag. But if, you know, sometimes they take their eye off the ball, sometimes they, you know, mishandle the ball, they go to it slow, and guys take advantage of it. The good base runners take advantage of it.
The toughest part for you to be a third base coach.
The toughest park?
Yep. What's the most difficult? So for instance,
Boston.
Okay, Boston.
Because of the wall.
What about San Francisco?
It's okay. Everything plays. For me, it plays. There's a base hit.
For Mookie Betts.
There's some stuff out there in the walls, the angles that play different for me. I always go out there every year that we go there. I still check it just to make sure nothing's changed because they got the bullpens out there now.
Right.
So
will you hit balls off a wall to watch, or do you just throw balls off the wall?
Yeah, we have. Sometimes I go out there and hit them, and sometimes I always go out there and shag too.
Yeah.
Just so I can see what the ball's doing. But Boston is the one that's got the wall there, and it's hard to get down in the left field corner. You know, sometimes I got to make a play where I make a call where sometimes I got to get inside the line and get myself out of there when I'm sending a runner home. I can't see the ball.
Freddie Freeman's back up there taking ball one. Walked and scored in the first.
Is there a play that comes to mind that you'd like to have back in your career? Or was everybody safe?
Well, you never like to get guys thrown out. I think I revert back to 19, right here at this ballpark where Bellinger was on second base and the ball was hit hard. Kike hit a one-hopper to Cole Calhoun. We ended the game at the plate, but 2 outs, tying run at second base, bottom of the ninth. But
you remember that. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean,
I remember the guys that throw us out, no doubt.
But I've heard you say before, Dino, that you will always say as long as you, after the fact, can have a reason, can explain what your reasoning was, you can live with it.
That's right. And I know I do my homework, and I know the situation of the game, who's on deck, who's in the hole. And I know if that's the right call to make, especially with 2 outs, I'll live with it.
And I'll tell you this, too, and it's very true. If you're not getting guys ever thrown out at home, then you're not good. You are not good because that means you're not taking chances sometimes. You're not.
Yeah, there's sometimes, you have to, you have to test the outfielder's arm in certain situations where you have to send that runner.
Full count on Freeman.
We had a third base coach when I was with the Cubs, Wendell Kim, real good man, has since passed away, but they used to call him, wave him in, Wendell.
Yeah. Here we go, same situation.
Single walk and Trey Turner.
The biggest thing too now as third base coach is knowing, with all the shifts going on, making sure our base runner knows if they are in a right-handed shift, let him know. Even though they know, I just always make myself, hey, look behind you. You got all 3 guys on one side. So if it's that line drive or that ground ball that's hit over there on the open side, they already know. Let's go. There's nobody over there to defend it.
It'll be one less thing to think about next year. That shift getting banned.
Yeah.
Trey Turner's coming up. He drove in the 2 Dodger runs in the first inning with a gapper right center. Back-to-back games with 2 knocked in for Trey Turner.
Nobody out. Here we go.
Into right center field. Ward comes on.
Gotta get down! Get down!
So that is a double play. Good play by Ward and right with a catch, and then a perfect throw to get Mookie Betts.
Mookie went back and tagged on that, and he turned back and thought he can. When Ward dove there, he thought he could get him. And again, you said it. It was a perfect throw right on the bag.
Well, and you'll see when you see the replay after the game, Mookie starts and then he stops and then he goes again.
Yeah.
That little hesitation.
Uh-oh.
Muncy turns on it. Highliner to right.
There we
Ward
go.
won't get there. Go ahead, Dino.
Come on, let's go! We gotta go! Get down! Get down! Yes, sir!
Good work, Dino.
That's all credited to the big boy over there at first, man. Look at him. He just takes off. He knows he's got to score. Pretty good relay on their part. David Fletcher goes a two-hopper. Big at bat right there for Max. We needed that. It's good.
Yeah, Max still searching for that feel. Doubles to the gap here. Scores Freddie Freeman all the way from first.
Yes,
Dodgers lead it 3-0. Justin Turner now takes the ball.
I'll tell you what, and Freddie's going to call up Andrew after this game and say, look, after tonight and last night, the amount of running I'm doing, going to cost you a few bucks.
Well, you know what's funny? Andrew last night on the double turned into a triple, really single turned into a triple where the Dells misplaying love. Andrew said he's watching the game cringing, saying, please just stop it. Second, and Freddie said, I know, but that's impossible for me. That's not how I'm wired. I know it's spring training, but no chance. And then same thing there, scoring all the way from first when everybody would have understood if he had just camped at third. That's how he's wired, and that's part of what the Dodgers love. On 3-0, Turner pops it up. Back of the infield to end the inning.
Way to go, Max. Nice at bat right there.
Over there with Bobby Miller, letting him know that his night is finished after 3 scoreless innings. There's the final line. Strikes out 2, including Ohtani. Issued a couple walks, just 1 single.
Yeah, real nice job. Has to be excited about the performance. I'm sure he's going to go in and critique himself a little bit, but overall, very nice job.
Alex Vesia replaces him. He was one of the breakout stars last year, one of the big surprises last year. Made his Dodger debut on May 1st. He gave up 4 runs on 4 walks in 1 inning. And through 10 games, he had an ERA around 6 with more than a walk per inning. So they sent him back to AAA. Figures it out there. And when I say figures it out, I mean just absolutely mowed people down. He had 15 consecutive strikeouts at one point there. So gets another chance in the majors and comes back looking like a completely different guy. From July through the end of the year, he had a 0.92 earned run average.
I mean, that really is something, because when you send him back down, you're thinking, all right, this is probably the last time we're going to see this guy. And then the numbers he put up and the ability to carry that over when he get back to the big leagues.
Vesia takes over in the 4th. Jose Rojas to lead it off. And Alex, similar to early on last year's, going through a bit of a rough patch. Still trying to lock things in this spring. He's pitched 3 2/3 this spring, and he's given up 10 base runners in those 3 2/3.
Fastball, slider, change guy. Against those left-handed hitters, going to be the fastball and slider. Rojas has swung the bat a little bit this series too, right?
Home run, first pitch he saw yesterday.
Yeah.
Smith giving it a look. Not quite enough room.
Kind of interesting right there, just in that, yeah, it got close to the screen, but never got rid of his mask. And promise you that's not going to be happening on Friday.
Yeah, in real life.
That mask in real life. Real life, that mask is dirty.
Vesia to Rojas with a 1-2 offering. Do it again. Alex Vesia out of Steel Canyon High School outside of San Diego. And had you watched him pitch at Steel Canyon, it would have been almost impossible to picture him here doing what he's done in the majors. Back then his fastball peaked in the low 80s. Not only didn't he get drafted, he didn't get recruited by any Division I college programs. Deals 1-2 again and strikes out Rojas with a high fastball. So he went to Cal State East Bay, Division II program near Oakland. Spent 4 years there getting his degree in recreational management, and at the same time obviously playing baseball to get bigger and stronger. And by the time he finished those 4 years, he was throwing in the 90s. Became an unlikely draft pick, although at that point a 17th rounder, so it still would have been somewhat difficult to envision him doing what he's been doing.
It was probably difficult to envision what he's doing last year when they set him down, right? Like,
he walked 4 dudes and 4 runs scored in his first game. Ball 1 on Rendon. Kind of what he's always done, though. Gotten better and better and accomplished improbable things. Caught the top of the zone, 1-1. The 1-1. Got a swing and a miss, 1-2.
That's just filthy. You know, you start that last pitch was at the top of the zone. Rendon laid off, and then that thing right there, it is ends up at his right ankle. I mean, you talk about changing the sight lines of a hitter. That's just a great job by Vesia.
Opponents went 1 for 23 against that pitch last year. Coming back inside with a 1-2. It's flipped into right center. Betts will have to play it on a bounce.
Number 20, Jared Walsh.
Really an excellent pitch right there. Just able to find some space out there.
Might be another one of those in real life on Friday.
Right?
Looks a little different. 1-on-1 out for Jared Walsh. On the corner, strike 1. Really, with Vesia, take your pick. You want to talk about a pitch that was dominant? Fastball, opponents hit 163. Slider, they were 1 for 23. Changeup, they were 0 for 14. And so only Josh Hader, or beg your pardon, not even Josh Hader or Jacob deGrom, held opponents to a lower average last year. Vesia held opponents to 126. It's a pop up here on the infield for Trey Turner and the second out.
That's back-to-back nights. You're giving me something that I'd say, no way.
Right.
Last night you got me with the Mike Piazza, Will Smith comparison after, what was it, 200 and some odd games.
Yep.
Now you're putting Vesia in the same sentence with Hader and deGrom.
Average against, that's 1-2-3 in the majors last year. Vesia, wow. Hader, deGrom. Jo Adell with a man at first and 2 out.
What am I going to have to look forward to on Friday?
I thought you were going to
don't want to tell me.
I was going to say tomorrow.
No, not tomorrow. No, Friday. You know, in real life.
Yeah, in real life Friday. I don't know.
You work on that in those 2 off days.
I'm going to give you something good. I'm going to bring it. 0-2. You know about like the dinosaur bones they found in Coors Field and stuff. You know all about that.
Is this real or is this?
This is real life.
Oh, I've never heard
even
no,
before. Okay.
No,
all right. Maybe
I'm not aware of that.
We'll chat on Friday.
I'll look forward to that.
0-2 from Alex Vesia to Joe Adell. Climbed the ladder, sent it in the air, deep center field. Bellinger sprints and runs it down. 4 scoreless innings for Dodger pitching tonight. Vesia picks up where Bobby Miller left off.
$100,000 with MLB opening day pick'em. See rules and enter at MLB.com/pick'em. Restrictions apply.
Sun setting here in Los Angeles. Dodgers getting 2 in the first, 1 in the third, and they lead 3-0. Intended to be joined by Dino Evil as Will Smith comes up to lead off this inning. Dino, hey, make sure you wish Bobby Miller happy birthday. I don't know if you knew that 23rd birthday for Bobby today.
Yes, we did. We did it already.
All right.
It's nice.
You're all over it. What a day for him, huh? Got his parents here and good stuff. 3 scoreless innings. Vesia picks it up with a scoreless 4th. Will Smith leads off the Dodger half and takes a strike. Hey, we were EK and I were talking yesterday about Will Smith. Through 221 career games, Dino, his numbers are almost identical to the numbers through 221 career games for Mike Piazza and Roy Campanella.
Wow, that's really good.
No, like they told me that last night, and I'm thinking, wait, you're telling me that he and Piazza have the same numbers, almost identical? I mean, I never thought that. I know Will Smith is probably the best catcher in the National League, but right. I would have never.
That's pretty good.
Right?
Really good. 2 big names right there.
Showing the graphic right now, Dino. Home runs through 221 games. Will Smith 48, Mike Piazza 46.
Love it. Piazza turned out to be a pretty good player.
Yeah, he was all right. The guy could hit a little bit.
Yeah.
2-2 on Smith. Michael Lorenzen, Southern California native, back for his hometown team. Just misses outside. Count goes full.
Come on, Will.
Dino, the most challenging thing down at third base. I mean, I know it's a pretty broad question, but.
In the air to center for Adell.
Just making sure, for me, as a third base coach, making sure all the players know every sign. When the manager wants to put something on during a ball game and we miss a sign, that's my fault. I got to spend more time with the players. I've always said that. You know, if it's a hit and run or a bunt or steal sign, a green light, whatever the sign may be, I think that's a challenge on me every day, going around asking guys. Some of these guys have their own set of signs. You know, we have a team set. Some guys have their own signs, so it's always a challenge for me to making sure that when Dave wants to put something on, we're not going to miss it. He's running the game. Now, if we execute, that's a different story. But as long as they get the sign, that's part of my challenge every day, coming into a ball game, making sure our guys know the signs. And that's tough because, big games, big moments, players, they got to look down here. Guys run, on the bases, managers managing the game, and you might want to do something, so you always got to give me a look. Certain hitters, they're up there to swing the bat. I get it. And there's times when Dave doesn't give me a sign, or he does give me a sign, and it's, 2 outs, and we got a guy on the bases that look right at the hitter, like, don't worry about me. It's 2 outs. I'm concentrating on the guy on the bases. So there's certain points of a game where I just look right at the hitter and tell him to hit. So, but that's challenging for a third base coach, especially at the major league level. There's not a whole lot of like the old school days of hitting and running, bunting, and all that stuff. But when a manager does put it on, we need to get it. We need to have the sign down. Pretty good swing right there.
Field. Adell again.
Nice. And spring training, this is good because some of the new guys that I have here, a lot of the young guys have played throughout spring training. It's my job to get to know their speed, how they cut the angles, good secondaries, bad secondaries, good primaries. So that's always something I take pride on, and going around building relationships with the players. 2 outs, 1 out, no out situation of the game, when we can be aggressive, when we're not. But I go around all the time in the outfield talking baseball and putting them in situations. on the bases. Line drives, make sure they're through. Clayton over there at first base does an outstanding job with the base running, and there's, you know, he knows every sign of mine, knows the player's set of signs. He's always in their right ear, so we're always communicating together.
Way up there. And Jared Walsh will put a pause on our conversation. Be back with Dino in a few. Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by your Southern California Toyota dealers. Back in LA, one final time in this spring training slate, 19 games instead of 30. The last of those 19 here tonight. Tommy Kahnle pitching for the Dodgers here. This is somebody who they signed to a 2-year contract prior to last season, even though they knew they wouldn't have him last year because he was coming off Tommy John surgery. But the rehab has him in line to, before too long, if not right away, make an impact on the big league club.
Yeah, I was talking to the third base coach for the Angels the other day, Phil Nevin, who had Kahnle with the Yankees, and just speaking highly of what this guy can do when he's healthy, the ability, the arm. I mean, it's just high-end velocity. You see the strikeouts, 88 to only 20 walks. I mean, and that's the thing, you know, you can come here to the Dodger organization, they'll get you right. You know, very similar to Corey Knebel and what he was able to do, and hoping to do the same thing with this young man.
Well, the average big league pitcher strikes out 23% of the batters that he faces. Tommy Kahnle, his last 3 seasons, 35%. One spot behind Aroldis Chapman on that leaderboard. Max Stassi grounds the first pitch from him. Trey Turner can't pick it up cleanly, and an error to open the inning.
Number 14, Tyler Wade.
Had it just popped out of the heel of the glove there, and then tried to make a throw, but nothing there.
Leadoff man on. Here's Kahnle's old Yankee teammate, Tyler Wade. For Kahnle, 2 years in Colorado, a couple years with the White Sox, 3+ seasons with New York. 32 years of age. This will be his 8th year with Major League time. And he's in there with strike one. From Latham, New York, which is near Albany. The Yankees drafted him in the 5th round out of Lynn University in Florida, where he won a Division II national championship. Might say, wait, Yankees drafted him, but he debuted with the Rockies. Yeah, so the Yankees drafted him. Rockies got him in the Rule 5 draft, made his debut there, traded him to the White Sox. The White Sox traded him to the Yankees. Yeah, when he became a free agent, that's when he signed with the Dodgers. The Yankees thing, that was special for him. He grew up a diehard Yankees fan in New York, dreaming of wearing the pinstripes. Nasty. The changeup gets a strikeout for Kahnle. One away.
See, this pitch just continues to run away. Had no chance. I mean, you think about it, Kahnle, I mean, he sort of won the lottery there. He gets to go play for his hometown team, the Yankees, and gets out of pitching in Colorado.
Yeah, right. 1-on-1 out. Here's David Fletcher in a 3-0 game, top of the 5th.
Fletcher, a local kid out of LMU, Loyola Marymount.
Turns on it, but foul. Grew up in Orange, California as an Angels fan, so similar to Kahnle. He's getting to live out his dream, playing for the team he grew up cheering for. Where's number 22 for David Eckstein? his favorite player. One of the hardest players in the league to strike out, but in an 0-2 hole, here comes Canely. David Fletcher just 5'9", 185, so undersized and a lot of times been overlooked. First time he was overlooked, first time he was told he was too small, was at Angels Fan Fest when he was 4. They told him he was too small for the hitting simulation. So he's in tears. Well, come on, just let me. Gary DiSarcina was there. He's an infielder for the Angels at the time, and he saw this happen, pulled him aside, and they had their own little game of catch. Down swinging here rarely happens for David Fletcher. Tommy Canely makes it back-to-back Ks.
Call that the sword swing, just like wheeling a sword.
Tried to lay off, couldn't.
Number 5, Matt Duffy.
Top of the order, and the night is finished for Shohei Ohtani as Matt Duffy hits.
Continue the theme of local kids, right?
That's right,
Long
Lakewood
Beach
High
State.
School.
Long Beach State after that.
Oh, 1-2. Tommy Canely, 10 pitches, all strikes. Of course.
Yeah, that's your fault.
Get those out of my system now. Canely to Duffy with the 1-2. Stassioff second as another 1-2 comes home and misses in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Canely pitching in a official spring game for the first time. He's pitched some behind the scenes at Dodger camp, but getting into a game for the first time here. Continue that build up. Be ready before too long. He's pitching just 1 game over the last 2 years. July 26, 2020. And the elbow gave out. Long days of rehab to get back to this point. Last year, there meant a lot of days just watching the team on TV. Big video gamer, played a lot of Call of Duty. Streams it on his Twitch.
We mentioned, I mean, the rehab basically, coming on 2 years, and that's some time.
Payoff pitch. Chopped along third, but foul. He's a very energetic guy. He's years ago he was even more energetic because he had a habit of drinking 5 Red Bulls a day. Oh, a cup of coffee sprinkled in there too. So he's pulled back on that.
Hart's got to love that, right?
Yeah, I think that's probably why he pulled back on that. Got those Red Bulls out a couple years back. Still an intense, high energy guy. Teammates have loved having around. Trying to put up another 0. 2 gone in the 5th inning. Another 3-2 to Matt Duffy. Another foul. Goes on and on.
Battling.
On the 10th pitch, Duffy taps it ahead. Canley over to grab it with a bare hand, makes a nice play. 5 scoreless innings from 3 Dodger pitchers tonight, halfway home in a 3-0 game.
15th when the Dodgers host the Reds. The first 40,000 fans will receive a Jackie Robinson jersey commemorating his 75th anniversary of becoming the first African-American to play in the major leagues. Brought to you by UCLA Health. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Dodgers 3, Angels nothing as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. We got 2 in the 1st, 1 in the 3rd. On some perfectly executed sends from the 3rd base coach. That's you too, Dino. Ted Barrett giving you a hard time down there?
Who was that?
Was Ted Barrett giving you a hard time? Who's down there at 3rd?
It's Mark Reppinger.
No, Mark giving you a hard time?
Yeah, he's good.
Okay.
He's good.
Here's Gavin Lux leading off the inning, taking a strike. You have some fun with some umpires, some third basemen. You have some conversations going on out there.
Oh, yeah. I always challenge them. I always like, what if this happens? And they're like, oh, Dino, here we go. And now they got the replay. They got New York. So, but all of them are really good on the rules. They know the rules.
Do you ever stump them?
No. They're on it.
That's reassuring. Yeah. I wouldn't like to hear, yeah, stump them all the time. It was a 1-1 pitch. And a strike.
Boy, Lux.
We've talked a little bit, Dino, UK and I have, about Gavin Lux, what he did last year, not just learning the outfield on short notice, but then going and doing it in high pressure situations. Pretty impressive when you think about it.
No doubt. This guy, another guy that goes out every day, works, early work. He does it in the infield, goes out and takes it in the outfield, gets all his hitting in. I mean, he's here every day early. We're out on the field at 2 every day, and he's wanting to get better.
What do you think? What's his best position if you had to put him in a spot, or is he's good everywhere?
Well, he's naturally a shortstop. He's like the tools of a shortstop. I mean, got plus arm, quick hands, quick feet. You know, I like him at short, but came up here. He had Seager, so he moved him over to second, and now he's getting some time in the outfield. And he's a great player. He's going to be a good player. A lot of tools. Young. Works hard. You know, it's you know, he had a lot of success in the minor leagues, and you know, there's times up here you're gonna run into some battles and got to make some adjustments. And he's in there with those guys in the cages every day, getting his work in with the hitting side, and comes out here on the defensive side. He's going to be a good player. He is a good player.
One gone for Betts. Oh, it takes a strike. How important has Mookie been for a guy like Lux and young guys in general, just as an example in his now 2+ years here?
Oh yeah, outstanding. You know, he's always another guy that's talking the game and always trying to get somebody better. He comes out here, takes ground balls, early work, gets his hands going, then he goes to the outfield. He's got a great routine. Always happy in there. I mean, he's another guy that just super to have.
One after another.
That's right.
Freddie Freeman due next. Looks like that is going to do it for Michael Lorenzen. 4 2/3 for him. We'll take a break as they make a change. Got some time in the major leagues with Miami and Toronto. Spent last season in AAA Durham in the Tampa Bay Rays system, and tries to get back to the majors for the first time in 2 years here this year.
Yeah, coming in a little lefty on lefty situation here, although that lefty is Freddie Freeman. Well, I don't think really cares what side of the ball is coming out of.
Bases empty, 2 gone, and strike 1 on Freeman. He's walked twice tonight, scored on both, including from first and a double from Muncy. So Freddie was under the weather. That's why he missed Sunday's game. He was really not feeling good. And same thing yesterday. It was kind of touch and go, and they tried to take him out of the lineup. He said, I need at-bats. I need to see live pitching. I'm going to get in there. And then he serves that ball out to left field. And he's thinking, okay, get down in front of him, base hit. And it skips by Joe Adell. He's like, oh, man. Oh, I would like this during the regular season, but coming off a few days of feeling awful during the spring training games, I'd rather not have that thing scoot to the corner. Lines out here and can take his time. Dodger Baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Carl's Jr. Feed your happy at Carl's Jr. and earn double stars on any purchase in the app. Dodgers up 3-0 as this game goes to the 6th. And the 4th pitcher of the game for LA, Brusdar Graterol, tries to continue what has been a tremendous spring. He's pitched in 6 games and given up just 1 base runner.
Fastball, slider, and as you talked about earlier in the series, that cutter coming out of the same arm slot. People not just being able to differentiate, know when that fastball is coming.
And leading up the 6th inning.
Gone really well for him this spring. You know, we started off with Miller throwing 100.
Yeah.
Get to see that again right now.
Brandon Marsh to lead it off. 96 with a cutter. And strike 1. Well, that's the thing. That cutter intention is that it is the equalizer against left-handed hitters for Brusdar. Righties with an OPS against Graterol in his career, 542, which would get you a spot on the bench if you had a 542 OPS all the time. And ricochets off Brusdar. Backhand Turner, no play. Lefties with an OPS above 900. That's up in Ohtani territory. So he's made lefties Ohtani. He's put righties out of jobs. They would love for him to be able to be trusted against both sides, and they think the cutter is what's going to unlock that.
Well, and it makes sense. I mean, you remember a guy that had a Hall of Fame career doing that was Mariano Rivera. Was able to throw that cutter just bear down on left-handed hitters.
Leadoff man on. Here's Jose Rojas. Marsh takes off. Throw from Barnes, not in time.
Almost looked like the delay steal there. Nope, just straight out. Barnes, you must not have had a handle on it. Double clutch there.
Going two. Grounded to second. There's Lux. Hunter advances to third, one away. And instead of Anthony Rendon, it's going to be Jack Mayfield.
Pinch hitter number 9, Jack Mayfield.
Former Astro. A little time with the Mariners as well. Last season, he spent spring training with the Braves, opened the season with the Angels, got placed on waivers and picked up by the Mariners, and then after 11 games in Seattle, went back to the Angels. Had an everyday role at third base for quite a year, or for quite a big chunk of the year with Rendon out. This one gets by. Marsh comes home. Play at the plate. He's out. Barnes to Gratterall to get Marsh at home.
It's a heck of a flip by Barnesy right there. You see him get to it. It's almost like he's playing second base, feeding that shortstop. Just kind of backhands that thing right to Gratterall, doing a nice job. Thought he had it. Watch his flip. Boom.
It's the old middle infielder in him.
It really was.
Los Angeles Angels are challenging the out call at home plate.
Did they throw out the red challenge flag?
Yeah, they did.
That? I mean, you mentioned it last night. This is just so NFL.
So good, though.
No, I love it.
Ted Barrett checking out his earpiece. So that's new too. Instead of going to a phone, they have this wirelessly through the earpieces back to New York.
I mean, when we saw it on the scoreboard, it felt like Marsh had his feet in the air, right? Going across home plate.
After review, the call is confirmed. The runner is out. Los Angeles Angels lose their challenge.
Really well done by Alfonso Marquez. All these umpires have had a little bit of training on this, and good call. Practice handling these mic'd up situations. So they're getting their spring training work in as well. Last night was the first time in any game, though, that they did that. They had that system, and a smile from Alfonso. Two out, bases empty. 0-2 on Mayfield as Gratterall spins up a breaking ball. Threw it again, check swing. (101) Inning over. To the bottom of the sixth we go. Dodgers 3, Angels nothing.
That's a gapper. Come on, Freddie. Come on, Freddie. Come on, Freddie. You got to score. There it is. Hey, hey. Woohoo.
I thought about picking it, but that has spin rate on it. Here we go. Come on, let's go. We gotta go. Get down, get down. Yes, sir.
A lot of people, don't like hearing the sounds of their own voice. You cool with hearing yours? Are you one of those people that hears that and you're like, that's how I sound, or is that nothing for you?
I don't like it.
You don't like it? You sound good, man.
Thanks. I just waved over to Alfonso, who made that.
Yeah.
You guys were talking about the NFL, man. It's just like the NFL. I like it.
I do too. I think it's great.
Yeah. Over Teddy Barrett and Alfonso, we all came up. I don't know if you remember an EK. Did you ever do the Arizona Fall League?
I did. Were they all in the Arizona Fall League?
Yeah. Yeah, Alfonso was there when I was there. So we all know it's been 30 plus years. We look back and we always talk about it. He always had our games with the Dodgers, instructional leagues, and so it's pretty cool. And these guys are up here.
He's a local guy, right?
Yeah.
Marquez, didn't you?
Yep. L.A.
And then, of course, we all.
That's a bullet.
From Trey Turner.
Go on, Max.
I think the plate umpire tonight, Dino, is a local guy too. Malachi Moore is from Compton.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's a product of the Urban Youth Academy, MLB Urban Youth Academy there.
Awesome.
Leadoff man on. Muncy's at the plate. Drove in Freeman with a double his last time.
Now, like we were talking about earlier, like giving signs, I always come up, make sure both guys at the plate looking at me, and then walk back here. So if the ball is hit to right field, the guy, like Trey from first to third, he doesn't have to look back. If I'm closer to home, I'm back behind the bag. Makes it easier for him if he wants to look to see if I'm waving him or bringing him back or keeping him there.
Foul.
Yeah, that would have been nice to watch right here.
Yeah.
That was fair.
You get a little bit more jazzed up when a guy like Trey Turner's over there ready to run for you?
Oh, yeah. It's nice because, balls like that now, if it gets down in that corner, I saw Marsh out there and right, he broke fast because he knows he's got to cut that ball off quicker. The angle's got to be in because if he lets it get down the corner, he's got no chance throwing him out at home.
Two and two.
Nobody out here. We're just looking, making sure line drives are through. Don't want to get doubled up. Infield's in the shift. Center fielder's Oppo. Left fielder's pretty shallow, probably average.
On a 2-2, Muncy goes down swinging.
Dino, what outfielder do you have the most respect for? As far as arm, and you just like not testing him.
Well, there's a lot of them. Let me see. Renfroe was the one guy that.
Hunter Renfroe, okay,
yes, he's got a cannon arm. Back in the day, Ichiro, Jose Guillen.
Sure.
It was nice to have Vladdy on our team when I was with the Angels because Vlad had a cannon too. The best arm I think I've ever seen, we came up with him, was Mondesi.
Sure. El Cañón.
That's right. And that's how kind of like I when I start to grade arms, I remember that arm. We came up with him.
Right.
He had an 80 arm, and when you see that come out, he had quick release. He'd throw guys out at first base. As
Yeah,
you know.
no, he did. Yeah, no, we got a few.
Yep.
1 ball, no strikes on Justin Turner.
The guys on our team can throw. Bellinger can throw. Mookie can throw. But, you know, just the process of studying our outfielder's arm, all the video we have, and you know, I go in and spend a lot of time on that, see how they move their left and right, how they come in, which ones, you know, again, situation of the game, being aggressive, not being aggressive, late in the game, we need some runs. So all that comes into play.
You mentioned having Vlad for a little while in Anaheim. I imagine you got to see a very young Vlad Jr. tagging along?
Yeah.
What was he like?
Oh, it was unbelievable. He'd run around the clubhouse at 7, 8, 9 years old and be out there all the time shagging. And a few years down the road, I'm hearing that this guy's playing third base and he's going to be making millions of dollars when he signs. And I got a chance to see him at the All-Star game, the home run derby that year in Cleveland when he went up against Jock. Man, what a great person. The whole family's great, outstanding.
In 10 years, somebody's going to ask the same question about Brady Ebel, aren't they? What was Brady Ebel like running around Dodger Stadium now that we know him as this big-time big leaguer? So for folks that don't know, your son, a freshman in high school?
Freshman in high school.
Is the real deal, huh? I'll brag for you, but I know I'll let you brag a little bit on him too.
Yeah, he's coming. He's got some height on him. My dad's side was big. He's 6'2", 180 pounds. Got to get back, Trey. And yeah, he made the team as a freshman. He's playing shortstop, third base, and he also pitches. So pretty good what he's doing. You know, the other day he made his debut as a freshman, threw a no-hitter.
Wow.
Then he came back second game, 7 innings, 8 punch out, got the win, 3-1, drove in all 3 runs. He hits left-handed, throws right. Goes a good school, good coaching staff there, and you know, he's getting a lot of playing time. But he loves the game. And then I got Trey, who's coming. He's 13 years old. He won the Little League Home Run Derby a year ago in Williamsport. He's right on right. He's about 5'9.5" now, 165 pounds. So it's fun to watch. Take him out to the ball yard and got him to come to spring training. They sat in the dugout. They did our routines in the morning, ground balls. They hit in the cage. And it was fun for me. It was great to have him there.
Yeah, how cool is that for them to be able to be around, well, first of all, you every day, but then come here and I mean, I watched Brady play catch with Mookie Betts the other day.
Yeah, it's just part of, you know, being around the guys, and they listen, they learn, they go down and watch them in the cage, and so it's special for me.
So what is he? He pitches and plays short and third and can hit. So are we looking at another Ohtani, or what do we got here?
He's going to do it until somebody tells him he can't do one or the other. So he touched 86, 87 the other day. I mean, he's 83 to 85. That ball's down the line. Oh, no. Nice play.
Nice play in left by Rojas, robbing us of some entertainment from Dino with the base running. 3-0 after 6.
Enjoy the flavor of Mexico during every Tuesday home game with a rotating menu of delicious food and drinks, accompanied by the sound of live mariachi bands. Visit Dodgers.com/Taco Tuesday. Wait, did we have Taco Tuesday tonight? We couldn't get a spring training run?
No, I think they're saving it. They're saving it for real life.
For real life.
That's right. Save the tacos for the regular season. Phil Bickford, who made his spring debut on Saturday in the last game in Arizona, scoreless inning against San Francisco. A bit of a slow build up this spring as he had some arm soreness early. Coming off the breakout season with the Dodgers and facing Jared Walsh to lead off the inning. Strike one.
Yeah, Vesia from the left side and Bickford from the right. Two guys that I'm not sure that the Dodgers going into the season thought that they were going to get that kind of production. Sure glad they did.
Phil Bickford, a first-round pick in 2015, and then for 5 years, numerous setbacks in the minors. Debuted in 2020, gave up 4 runs in 1 inning. That was with Milwaukee. Last year gives up 2 runs in 1 inning and gets DFA'd. So the Dodgers pick him up, and at this point, yeah, he's a former first-round pick, but in 2 games, he's got a career ERA of 27. Debuts for the Dodgers May 23rd and puts up a 2.50 ERA. Appearing in half of the team's games from the point that they picked him up. Is 1-2 to Jared Walsh.
Now, besides having good stuff, the durability, the reliability, I mean, that's what makes him so valuable.
Born in Ventura, went to Oaks Christian High School in Westlake. Gets in on Walsh, short center field. And Hanser Alberto with a catch. Now Bickford, first-round pick, and actually a first-round pick twice out of high school. 10th overall. 22 picks before Aaron Judge. He didn't sign. Went to Cal State Fullerton for 1 year. Transferred to College of Southern Nevada and was a first-round pick again. 6 picks before Walker Buehler.
Pretty gutsy first-round pick out of high school, not signing.
Strike 1 on Joe Adell.
Betting on yourself.
He's coming out of a career at Oaks Christian where he was 12-1 as a senior, had a 0.83 ERA. Sectional championship game. 18 strikeouts, and he finished the game with an immaculate inning.
Better explain that to everybody.
9 pitches, 9 strikes, 3 strikeouts.
Take that.
Really hard hit. Diving stop. Eddie Alvarez gets him. The 2-sport Olympian fresh into the game, showing off the leather.
Great first step. He's able to get there and see how quickly he gets to his feet and then able to make a nice one-hop throw. I mean, just aware of everything there. The runner, the ability to one-hop Rios over at first. A heck of a play.
We talk about guys like Kevin Pillar and Jake Lamb. Dodgers are really excited about providing better depth this year. Eddie Alvarez, another one that they're really thrilled to have. He's played in 36 Major League games from Miami over the last 2 seasons. And was the flag bearer for Team USA in the Olympics this past summer. Kurt Suzuki's up there. 1 ball, 1 strike. If you've watched a bunch of spring training, you've heard the story 100 times. If this is your first game, well, you're going to hear it again. The flag bearer as a member of the baseball team last summer, but a medalist as a speed skater at a prior Olympics. Dave Roberts was saying the other day that he sees that, not speed skating ability, but a lot of the qualities that it takes to be a speed skater, low to the ground, uses his lower body. He sees that translate on the baseball field.
Well, you say low to the ground. He uses the ground force, whether it's to drive the ball, to hit, or to move his feet in the field. You know, that's I would say that the speed skating probably, as far as balance and body awareness, I mean, he's at a whole different level.
Full count. I said Suzuki. It's Romine.
whoever you say it is.
That's how it works. Here's Karros. Two-out walk.
Second baseman Tyler Wade.
Runner at first, 2 gone. Tyler Wade goes after the first pitch, sends a high fly ball to center field. Bellinger to the track, makes the play. Always so under control, even bearing down in the wall, brings it in, and we stretch. In the Angels bullpen this winter. Now to pitch the bottom of the 7th inning. 29 years old, out of Oklahoma. Dodgers saw a bunch of him through the years, pitching for the Arizona Diamondbacks, one of their top back inning pieces. Spent 2020 split between Arizona and Cincinnati. Last year with the Phillies. And signed a 1-year contract with the Angels.
Well, you mentioned you got closer experience and been around, a veteran guy, knows how to handle himself, can really pitch in any role. And that's going to be one of the things that, you know, Perry Minasian and the Angels improve that bullpen.
Cody Bellinger swings and misses. But what have you seen over these 3 Freeway Series games with Bellinger as he looks to get ready for the season?
Well, I felt like last night was something. You know, drove a ball to center and, you know, just missed one to left. And I really do believe he's going to be fine. You know, it's restart come Friday. It's going to be in a great hitter's ballpark. Can just get going. I mean, that's what I said earlier. It's with spring training. When you're doing well, you want the season to start, and when you're not doing well, you want the season to start because it's reset.
Hopefully, if you believe in omens, hopefully he finds some better omens this year than he did on opening day last year when he was called out on a home run for passing Justin Turner on the bases. Hadn't happened in Dodger history in 91 years. Into center field for Adell. Still coming, lays out, won't get there. A little pop-up base hit for Bellinger to start the inning.
It's a breaking ball, and doesn't really like that now, but I'll tell you what, come Friday, take it. 4 of those. Yeah. You don't want to waste that now.
Pinch runner comes in. Up to the leadoff hit for Bellinger, and Chris Taylor comes up.
Pinch runner for Cody Bellinger, number 84, Ryan Ward.
Pinch runner is Ryan Ward. Well, Dino, you were talking about, making sure that everybody's on top of stuff, that they're always looking for the signs, that they're always locked in. And guy at the plate here, you never have to worry about him, do you?
Oh, no, he's really good. And, yes, he knows all the signs. He just gets his work done every day, same guy. Really valuable to this ball club. And so excited to see him come back, and he can do it all. Super utility player. Play all the infield spots, outfield spots. Big bat at the plate.
That attention to detail you're talking about with him, a lot of that was born out of necessity when he wasn't the big bat and he wasn't putting up great numbers, and it was the only way for him to keep his job coming up through the system. And then he's added all these other elements to his game while having that foundation of just being a great, gritty, locked-in, focused player every day.
Absolutely.
On a 2-1 pitch, takes him to do it. Where does he rank for most serious personalities in the current clubhouse?
He's up there. Yeah, when he smiles, man, everybody smiles. But he's always happy. He's just a good person, cares about everybody, wants to win every day. That ball's hit hard.
Oh my goodness, isn't it, Dino? Get going, gone.
Fastball about belt high, and Taylor gets that thing from the get-go. Man.
Hey, you're talking about one of your inspirations, Joe Amalfitano. Broke his hand one time. Steve Sachs hit his hand so hard on a home run. Who's the most bruising high five on a trip around the bases after a home run for you?
Well, I got to go back to my Angel days. Mike Napoli and Vlad Guerrero would try to crush my hand, so I kind of got a little bit that give and take style. And I remember in Boston one night it was about 40 degrees, and Nap challenged me that night not to wear undershirt, which I'll never do again. And he hit a home run, and he came around the bases, and I knew he was going to try to get my hand hard, but he hit me up high on the arm and left a bruiser for about 5 days. He crushed me. But those guys, you know what? As long as they hit that ball to the park, I'll take the hit on the hand anytime.
They can come punch you. They're going to hit dingers, right?
No doubt.
Is there any player that had like some sort of crazy handshake coming around third, or had you had to do something orchestrated?
I think coming here with Jock, he liked the jump up and the back low high five. But other than that, it's guys. That's another thing I ask is like if they have a certain handshake they want when they come around the bases, and guys like the fist pump or low five or just high five. So.
It's a heck of a lot to remember down there, man. Jeez.
Bounce to first. Bucks retired. Maybe we got the fielders with their positioning cards. We might need to get you a celebration card as you seeing the guy around the bases. Let me check what CT3 likes. Okay, got it. Low high five.
No doubt. Especially before games, you guys see it in the dugout. All these guys, I joke around with them all the time, messing around, and they all know their high fives and their little handshakes before the game starts. And I'll go around and like, you guys never forget. You've got 28 players here. You got all these handshakes. I put on a bunt or a hit and run sign. You can't remember it. They laugh.
Kevin Pillar. 1 ball, no strikes. Hey, here's a nice signing, huh? Love watching this guy play.
Yeah. He's another guy that on the other side always, you know, he comes in hard in the outfield, charges well, plus arm. Baseball player. Does all the little things well in the outfield, cuts angles. Now he's on our side, so I love it.
Me too.
There you go.
Missile to left, right at Aguilar.
Ball was smoke.
Here comes Edwin Rios.
Number 83, Edwin Rios.
He's had a fantastic spring and knows that he's on the opening day roster. Something that looking coming in probably seemed like a bit of a long shot after he missed almost all of last season. But he's had a tremendous spring and earned his way aboard.
Tremendous power, all fields. He can go oppo, deep, goes right center, good swing.
Pounds this one into the dirt, right side. And the inning is over. We played 7. Dodgers lead at 5-0.
At Dodger Stadium Saturday, April 16th, when the Dodgers host the Reds at 7:10, and you'll receive a Legend of Dodger Baseball bobblehead of Maury Wills, the Dodgers' all-time leader in stolen bases, sponsored by Bank of America. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Dodgers up 5-0 as this game goes to the 8th inning, and Blake Treinen was one of the top relievers in baseball last year with a sub-2 ERA, 179 average against. And it was looking like he was maybe going to be kind of penciled into the 9th inning while not called the closer, going to handle a lot of those innings. One of the things that Craig Kimbrel signing does, or trade does, allows Treinen to slide back into the highest leverage spot.
You know, it's interesting.
One pitch and 1 out.
I was listening to Dave Roberts' interview. It was a couple days before the trade for Kimbrel, and he was talking about using Blake, and he said, you know, the host had asked him, well, is he going to be the closer? And he said, well, I mean, you know, he may be in that spot, but I'm going to use him in all the high leverage situations. I could deploy him early in the game. And so that kind of told me right there that, you know, the Dodgers weren't done. And a few days later, go out and get Kimbrel, and as you said, it just allows him to be used anywhere in the game.
Here's Matt Duffy, and he's going to like that. He says, look, it's fun to be the last guy on the mound, of course, getting the final outs of the game, but he said I kind of enjoy the fireman role too. You know that it's going to be the biggest situation each night. You know it's going to be the best hitters a lot of nights. 1-0 to Duffy. And there for a strike. This guy who has 79 saves in his career. That includes a 38 save season in 2018. When he got Cy Young votes. He's an all-star. There's that slider that everybody in baseball is trying to copy these days.
He's just an uncomfortable at-bat. I mean, there's not really anything that you can look for as a hitter and think this is what I'm going to get. It's going to have to be a mistake.
Down the line to right, Jose Ramos continues his defensive brilliance in this freeway series.
Right field, number 80, Jose Ramos.
Making Panama proud. Oh my gosh, what a play, Blake says, of the 21-year-old from Chepo, Panama. Robbed a home run the other night. Diving play here. With 2 outs, here's Brandon Marsh, and there's a strike. Man. Best slider in the majors last year. Opponents hit 074. He threw that pitch 384 times and gave up 7 hits. All singles.
And I'm not really sure as a hitter that you're really hitting the ball. I think the ball just kind of hits your bat. I mean, seriously, it's the amount of movement and the velocity. Not a good mix for a hitter.
They had the 3 shutout innings from Bobby Miller to start the game. 4 2/3 scoreless innings out of the bullpen. Only 2 hits. High fly ball. No big deal in right center though for Ryan Wade, and that's that for the Angels in the 8th. 8 zeros put up by Dodger hurlers tonight. 2 in the first, 1 in the third, 2 in the 7th. Austin Warren on to handle the bottom of the 8th for the Angels.
205 opponent average, seeing the 20 innings last year. No home runs. And he will be, I'm guessing he's got to be the final pitcher for the Angels.
Fingers
Maybe,
crossed.
I mean, yeah, fingers crossed. For the spring training season.
Coming off a great rookie campaign right there. 6th-round draft pick out of UNC Wilmington in 2018. Goes to work against Hanser Alberto with a fastball to the top of the zone.
Now, Alberto had a sweet night last night.
Yeah,
He had 3 hits, I think. 3 hits.
Hey, Dino, you know that coming up through the minors, they nicknamed this guy, Hanser Alberto, nicknamed him Radio because he just won't stop talking. His dad's a radio broadcaster.
Nice.
Can you see it? Have you learned?
Oh, this guy's got a ton of energy, talks baseball all the time. There's a bullet right at him. Yeah, watching him come up, when he first got called up with Texas and then he went to Baltimore. I watched him a lot in Texas, and good utility guy, barrels the ball up a lot, and he can play defense. So used to watch him over there, and a ton of energy, and that's what he's bringing in the clubhouse now. He's always talking to everybody on the bench, pumping everybody up. It's nice to have.
How about this guy here, Eddie Alvarez? Quite a story.
Yes, yeah, unbelievable. We met him in spring training, and he told the story. It's awesome. Great guy. He's got some power in that bat. Strong lower half.
A good guy, good story, and great spring. Yes. 360 average, 1,200 OPS.
You guys talked about it on that first step, that bullet that was hit to him and he dove, man. He came up, made that long, the one-hop throw. There.
Flies it to right. Marsh Drifting back to the edge of the track, 2 out.
He can run too.
Yeah.
Plus runner. Hey, boy, Eddie.
Well, Dino, it sure has been fun having you tonight. I wish we could do this during the regular season. I know that the stakes get a little bit higher then and hard to do, but it's just awesome insight for all of us. I know the fans at home really enjoy getting to have the curtain pulled back on what you do.
Thank you. I enjoy doing it. Talking the game while it's happening.
All right, we'll do it Friday. Sign you up. No, this was great, Dino. I mean, I learned something, and you know, every time I speak with you, I learn something.
Thanks.
So appreciate it, bud.
Is broadcasting a potential thing in your future?
Not yet.
Not now, but down the line.
Maybe down the road.
Friday.
No. Yeah, I love what I'm doing.
Two and one on Turner. Grounded to short. Tyler Wade ends the inning. Dino, we'll see you in Denver.
Thank you. Come on, Danny.
Win over the Angels. The kid, Bobby Miller, looked good.
Electric. He was lights out from the first hitter. Ohtani struck him out. Amazing. He looked incredible.
Nomar doesn't talk. He will after the game.
All right, guys, here is Craig Kimbrel to handle the 9th inning. Latest pickup for the Dodgers and a trade for A.J. Pollock from the Chicago White Sox. The active saves leader with 372, set to begin his first year with the Dodgers.
Yeah, really has had a wonderful career. Great job last year closing for the Cubs and ends up getting traded to the White Sox. Didn't stay in that role, but here coming over to the Dodgers, know exactly where we're going to see him. The end of the ball game.
And you got the domino effect from that we talked about. You get Blake Treinen back into his high leverage role. Other pieces settle into roles that are a little bit lower than they would have been. And the plan is that everybody benefits from it.
Well, I mean, you shorten the game, right? And you know, now your starters, you know, especially early on, you know, 5 innings, 6 innings, turn it right over to this bullpen. So many options for Dave Roberts.
Kimbrel 9th all-time with those 372 saves. Next up on the list, Joe Nathan, 377. So right in the doorstep of that. Good chance he can get Dennis Eckersley this year as well. He's within 18 of him. First one to Jose Rojas. Takes off ball 1. '33-year-old 8-time All-Star in his 13th year. It's a strike, 1-1. Five years in Atlanta, 1 year in San Diego. Is 2015, first time the Padres went for it. They acquired all those guys. They got Kimbrel on opening day that year. Traded him to Boston after the year. 3 seasons with the Red Sox, Cubs, and then the White Sox. And now over to his 6th club. He gets Rojas on the ground, 1 away in the 9th.
Well, no doubt the experience. And again, what'll be interesting, you know, he's had his ups and downs. I mean, he's gone in stretches where he's been unhittable, and then he's had some bumps in the road. And, you know, I think having that adversity, you know, has made him a better pitcher. He's had to figure things out about himself. He's had to persevere. Very stand up. Answer the bell at any time.
Kimbrel to Jack Mayfield. Strike 1. They won the World Series with the Red Sox in 18. 2019 signed mid-season and never really got going. He had a 6.5 ERA with the Cubs. 2020, I mean, it's hard to take, especially for reliever numbers into account. Only 15 innings. He had a 5 ERA. And the last year was like 2 different guys within one season. He had a 0.49 for the Cubs, traded to the White Sox, and had an ERA above 5.
Well, remember the different roles, though, right?
He says that's not to blame, but he also says the move back to closer is, quote, nothing that I'm mad about. Been doing it his whole career. You know, one.
Right, I mean, there is a comfort zone. There's a familiarity. There's a routine. And I know that, you know, people like to say, well, you know, you're going out there and you're pitching. It's the same thing, whether, you know, you're still trying to get outs. But the 9th inning is different. It is different. You know, unless you know, stood out there, I understand you could say, well, it's outs or outs, but it's a different animal there.
The breaking ball there is key for him. It's something that he lost late last year. Got a swing and a miss. 2 gone in the 9th.
There's that breaking ball you were talking about. Thing bouncing. Well, this is a type of outing. You finish him off right here. You take it right into real life on Friday.
Let's go. Ready for real life. A little more like it. I know just Freeway Series, just exhibition games here, but they give up 15 runs over the first 2 games, both losses. Nothing but zeros through 8 2/3 tonight. Ryan Aguilar trying to keep things going for the Angels. Looks at strike 1. Walker Buehler for the Dodgers. Kyle Freeland for the Rockies. Friday in Denver. 3 in Colorado. Off day Monday. 2 in Minnesota. And it's back home here next Thursday. Take on the Cincinnati Reds in the home opener. Oh-2. Back-to-back strikeouts to finish the night for Craig Kimbrel. And to finish off the exhibition schedule, it's on to the real thing in opening day on Friday. Dodgers got 2 in the first, 1 in the third, 2 more in the 7th. Home run from Chris Taylor, the key swing of the game, and exciting stuff from Bobby Miller, wasn't it? With his parents in town watching. 3 scoreless innings to get those line of zeros up there started. He had the 3 and then the pen was 6 and a 5-0 final score. For Eric Karros and Kirsten Watson, Joe Davis saying so long and talk to you on Friday.